I just wipe off the excess on the brush on my pajama pants. We're fancy like that. Hey guys, welcome back. So got a new at the drugstore video for y'all today, and it's all about new goodies from Covergirl. So they were so sweet and sent me a box of a bunch of different goodies in here, and then I went out and purchased a few more goodies, so I have a lot of goodies to run through with y'all, and I'm just gonna do like I normally do in these videos and just kind of talk about the different products, talk about my experience using them and just what I think about them, and just do some little mini reviews on these new products. So let's get to it. So I wanted to start by reading this little card that they included that kind of talks about the collection. It says, "The glow is real with CoverGirl's new VITALIST Healthy Glow collection. The VITALIST line extension has transformational products for all your glow power needs. From a luminizing lotion packed with moisture and vitamins to a look lock up all day setting mist that will have your makeup on lock. Everything is designed with that glow with the flow makeup mentality." So super fun. And their hashtag is CoverGirl Made. Alrighty, so first off, there is a lotion. This is the VITALIST Go Glow Luminizing Lotion. It's available in 2 shades, and it says it provides an irresistible all-over glow. The hydrating formula is infused with vitamins to give you the appearance of healthy skin, while the lightweight moisturizer will help you put your best face forward and glow from within. Looks like it retails for $8.99. So I do have this on as my moisturizer today. I've tried this several times. So I wear the shade Daybreak, number 1. My hand is so dry, so hopefully this will help a little bit. So this is what it looks like before I kind of blend it into the skin. So I've worn this multiple times. What I find is I do really like this, but I like this with something that, well, I would say with more of my regular things that I use, because this whole line is very glowy and that kind of glowy look to it. So for me, all of it together, because I got the powder, I had this lotion, and then with the setting mist, and then when you add on highlighters, it's just a lot of glow for my preference. So I do really like this lotion, and then I'll talk about the powder in a second. I really like that too. But together, I feel like they're a little bit too much glow, but I like them individually. Does that make sense? So here it is on my hand. So you can see, I mean, comparing it, it does give like a really pretty kind of glow. I mean, this hand is, you know, nice and like youthful looking. So I do really like it. It has an interesting smell to it. It's like I smell some kind of fragrance in it, but then it almost smells like burned popcorn or something. I'm not really sure, like burned Cheetos or burned popcorn or something. There's something in there too, like, and I can't put my nose on what I'm smelling. Anyway, I smell a little something that's like kind of like burned food and then a little bit of fragrance. So kind of a strange sort of scent, but not necessarily bad. But anyway, I do like this lotion. There are concealers in this line. This is the VITALIST Healthy Concealer. It says it's available in 6 shades, covers skin's imperfections without piling on a heavy layer thanks to its creamy formula. Infused with vitamins E, B5, and B3, use a soft brush tip to hide blemishes, while the formula works to help improve overall texture for a bright, healthy look. And this retails for $8.99. So they sent me light medium, and this one is a little bit borderline for me, so I have to put something under it to kind of brighten. I would probably be closer to, I think the next shade up is light and then fair. So probably fair would be nice and brightening for under my eyes, and then light maybe for the rest of my face. This still sort of, I mean, it kind of works, but it's borderline a little bit too dark. And this kind of has like a salmony sort of a color to it, so that's why I've been able to still use it under my eyes. So I do like the texture of this concealer. I haven't really gotten to like give it the full try under my eyes because it's not, you know, my ideal color match, but it's a very creamy formula to it. Let me put a little bit on my face just to kind of re-experience it. It blends well. It doesn't feel thick and cakey. I do like these kind of like applicators like this. I think that they're, you know, I don't know, it reminds me of like the Maybelline Dream Lumi, and I really like the click up type of ones. They seem to run out quickly, typically, at least that one does, but this seems like a much fatter sort of a container. So we'll see how long it lasts, but I like the texture of it. It feels creamy. It doesn't feel heavy, doesn't feel cakey. I do think it would be a nice one for under the eyes just by itself, not layering it with other things. But like I said, I didn't really get to fully test that since this is a little bit deep for underneath my eyes. But I think this is a good concealer. I think it's nice and doesn't feel drying, but doesn't feel overly hydrating like it's greasy or anything. So a good kind of middle of the road, nice coverage concealer. I would say medium coverage, not super duper full coverage, not super sheer. I would say light to medium kind of coverage, but probably buildable to full medium. Then there is a powder. This is the VITALIST Healthy Powder, and it retails for $11.99, at least at Ulta where I got mine. So it says about this powder, at last, there's a setting powder with built-in hydration and lightweight formula that reduces shine for natural-looking, flawless skin. CoverGirl VITALIST Healthy Powder delivers moisture and diffuses the look of imperfections without ever looking cakey. Key benefits: diffuses the look of imperfections, setting powder with built-in hydration for a natural, never cakey look. So I have used this powder several times, and like I mentioned earlier, you know, with the glowy lotion and then with the highlighters with it, it's a little bit too much glow for me personally, but I have used this with some of my other makeup products that are kind of more satin and or matte, and I really like it that way because it's this kind of like buttery feeling powder that just looks very skin-like on the skin. So it's kind of that catch-22 that when you have these sort of buttery feeling powders, they look really nice and natural on the skin, but if you mix them with luminizing stuff, you're gonna get super luminizing kind of a look, which you may be going for. And then also, I feel like if you keep layering it, it can give that cakey look, but it's more because you're putting on too much. So I think just a little bit of it, like I've used it several times as a touch-up powder. It took away the shine without making my skin look dry. That's what I really like about it. It does remove the shine, but doesn't look dry on the skin. So I like it that way. I like it as a setting powder. I like it as a touch-up powder. I think it looks really nice and healthy looking on the skin, but I prefer it with more satin to matte products, and I would say don't use a ton of it because like any powder gets bad if you add too much of it. Even one that's more kind of dry and more super duper mattifying, that's gonna make your skin look dry, probably, eventually, just because you're adding too much. Something like this is gonna eventually look just kind of thick and heavy. You can even see it on my finger, like it's getting thick and heavy. So just use a little bit of it and it's really beautiful on the skin that way. Well, I had some lovely lipstick up on the top of my teeth, so hopefully you weren't seeing that the whole time, but if you were, then I had lipstick on my teeth. Sorry about that. Okay, so there are some cream highlighters. These are the VITALIST Healthy Glow highlighters. It says, delivers a next level glow. Designed to illuminate natural skin tone, this blendable cream formula, available in 4 shades, provides a refined glow, perfect for applying along the high points of your face: cheekbones, brow bones, nose, and Cupid's bow. So I guess there are 4 different shades, but then I got 2 here in number 4 and number 5, and I think there might have even been a 6, maybe? I can't remember, let me look it up. Okay, yes, on the Ulta website there are 6 different shades, and I thought I remembered seeing 6 when I was in store, so I'm not sure if they added on 2 more or what really happened, but 6 different shades. So they sent me number 4, which is kind of like a coppery sort of a color. Really, really pretty. Number 4 is called Sunkissed, and then they sent me number 5, which is Sundown. This is kind of more of a taupey, bronzy shade, so more cool toned. And then I went out and purchased number 1, which is Moonbeam. And this one is kind of like a silvery, very cool toned white sort of a shade. So I have them swatched here. So number 4 and number 5, I can't wear them as highlighters. I could maybe try to make them work as like a glowy bronzer, but I find that difficult to do. Like every time I've tried to use these kind of glowy sort of colors as a bronzer, it's just hard. So anyway, the way that I've used these is I have this one on as a base for my shadows today. What I've noticed about these is, so these 2 colors I've played with more, and they are at this point super moussey and creamy. So they really do get very creamy as you use them. This one I haven't used as much, so it kind of has that, seems to have that kind of outer layer on it, like I'm not really down into the product yet. but once you get down in it, it's pretty creamy. Like, it's very creamy. So it does set pretty well and really doesn't move anywhere. So I think this would work as an eyeshadow, like a cream shadow, but I mean, it's intended to be a highlighter, but that's how I wore it. So, I mean, you know, kind of gives it another sort of thing that it can do on your face, is be a cream eyeshadow. But this is the one that I've been able to experience as a highlighter. So this is number 1. So this is number 1, that's number 4, that's number 5. These are a creamy, moussey sort of a texture. They do have a little bit of micro shimmer. This one has some, this one has some. It's very, very small, so it's not chunky glitter. I really don't notice it much in this one very much, number 4. So I think these are okay. I don't super duper love them. You can see this one is super, very cool tone, very silvery, so it's a little bit more kind of creative. It's, you know, a little bit, I think, harder to pull off than like a champagne gold would be. So I will probably use these more as a base under a powder highlighter. And they blend pretty well into the skin. I've tried them with a small stipple brush and then with my fingers. I used actually both today. I used the small stipple first and then my fingers. And they start out pretty subtle if you use a brush with them. They're pretty subtle, not super duper intensely pigmented, but then if you apply them with your finger, that does really build it up. But I think because of the texture of them, I think it kind of accentuates texture on the face. So they're pretty good, but I'm not in love with them. They're not my favorite cream highlighter I've ever used. I was really excited to see this. This is the Sculpt and Set Pomade, and this is $10.99, at least at Ulta where I purchased mine. So I have the shade Soft Blonde, $7.20. So it says, get bold brows with CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow Sculpt and Set Pomade. This rich buildable brow pomade with a built-in angled brush will help you create strong sculpted brows that won't stray. From soft blonde to rich brown, this creamy pomade is available in multiple shades. Key benefits: rich cream gel brow pomade, sculpt and set brows in one stroke, built-in brush for precise application, removes easily with soap and water. So this is very reminiscent of the Benefit Ka-Brow. Like, the packaging and everything is super duper similar to that. It does have a little built-in brush just like the Ka-Brow does, and then you open it up and it's got the little kind of reservoir down here of product. So this is some feedback. I do wish that they had made this wider and less deep so that you can really get your brush in there. It's a little bit difficult to get into this little pot. Like, it's just kind of a tiny little pot. As far as the formula goes on this, I like this a lot. It's super creamy. Oh, I didn't remove my other swatches. It's super creamy. It's very soft. So it's softer than the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. There it is right there. So it's softer than that. It's less, that one just feels like a thicker sort of a texture. This is a lot creamier. And this is more creamy than the NYX Tame and Frame Tinted Brow Pomade. That one is a little bit more moussey and kind of takes more building. This is one that, like, when you start to apply it, it's like, oh, whoa, that goes a long way. Like, a little bit goes a long way with this. Let me just wipe off the excess on the brush on my pajama pants because we're fancy like that. So you just don't need very much. So a little bit goes a long way with it, which I really like. I don't feel like it moves anywhere. I mean, I'm not like scratching at my brows as I wear it, but I wore it all day and didn't notice any kind of fading with it. When I touched my brows just lightly, I didn't notice it coming off. So I really like the texture of this. I really like this color. I really like how it wears. Really the only negative feedback I would say is I wish that the shape was a little bit different so you could get into the product a little bit more easily. So let's talk about the setting mist and then we'll get into all the different lip products that I have to show you. So this is the Look Lockup Setting Mist. Says it works as hard to keep your glam in place as you do to apply it. Make sure your luminous look lasts all day by spraying a light mist all over to lock in color and keep your face looking fresh. And this retails for $9.99. Really pretty packaging. The whole line has a really pretty clean look to it, which I think is really nice and, you know, fancy and just very clean looking. So the first thing that I noticed about this when I first sprayed it was the amazing scent. This smells like cucumbers, super duper cucumbery. So if you don't like the scent of cucumbers, you won't like the scent of this because it straight up smells like cucumbers, but it's very fresh smelling. And because I liked it so much, I sprayed this all over. I went crazy with it. And then it was a little bit like, whoa, it was a little bit too much. So it's very fragrant, but it does dissipate as you wear it. I just used way too much as part of the problem. But it does take a little bit to kind of go away, like sort of dissipate, and then you don't smell it as much. But I mean, it's definitely right away that you smell it. But I love the smell of it. I think it's super fresh. It sprays really well. It's not like spitty, has a good sprayer on it, at least mine does. Really does dissipate the product well all over your face. As far as like what it does to the skin, I do think it has like a nice skin-like look. It kind of takes away that makeup-y look on your face. I didn't necessarily like notice how it impacted the wear time on my makeup. I more just noticed it was a nice experience to use it. I loved the scent of it. I loved the spray. I loved how it like sprayed onto the face and looked on the face. I would use this as like a mixing spray just because I love the smell of it and it would be like fun to use it. So that's probably how I'm going to use it, and maybe as a setting mist because it doesn't over dry your skin and it doesn't give too much like luminosity on the skin. It's that right in between nice skin-like look. I do really like this mist. It's one of my favorite things in the new line. So now let's talk lip products. So I have a little combo of these two, so let's start with those. Let's start with this one specifically. I don't believe this is part of the VITALIST line, but it was listed as a new product, so I went ahead and grabbed it so I could share some thoughts with you guys. So this is the KATY Kat lip gloss, and it retails for $7.99 in Ulta. I got the shade Cantaloupe. Cantaloupe. Super cute cat sort of packaging. I love that because I love cats. I love my cat. He's so sweet. So KATY Kat KATY Kat gloss is a shiny lip gloss created by Covergirl Katy Perry. Delivering thick and luxurious lips that are perfect for any occasion, KATY Kat gloss I can't talk, gives you the shiny lips that you've been looking for with a soft and creamy moisturized feel. Key benefits: full coverage lip color with a soft shine, never sticky or tacky, intensely pigmented for a rich color that glides on smoothly. I would say yes, full coverage, and yes, intensely pigmented, but I do think this is sticky and tacky. I was really kind of surprised by this, and let me know if you've had the same experience with either other colors you've gotten or just using this in general. I don't know if I just got a weird one or if this is really genuinely the formula of this gloss. So it's a small doe foot applicator. That's what it looks like, a little bit kind of angled. This is just a super thick gloss. And it's to the point where I kept having to go back in here and layer and layer and layer just because it's so thick. It's not like it really glides and covers the lips. But once you get enough product, it is very opaque. So it's almost like a lip lacquer gloss. I do really like this color. It's a very neutral, beautiful sort of a shade, but like I have this on right now and it's even hard to layer because it's so thick. It's just such a super thick gloss. Has a nice scent. It's like sweet smelling. Kind of reminds me of Mary Kay lip glosses. I don't know if they still smell like this, but when I used them years ago, that's what they smelled like, just kind of like a vanilla sort of a scent. So, I mean, these are thick and pretty tacky. Not my favorite gloss, just because of the thickness of them. They do stick around because they have that nice, you know, tackiness to them, but they just feel thick on the lips, and they feel like they kind of do that not so cute thing when you open your mouth because it's sticking together. So let me know. I just wonder if I got a weird one or if they're all like this. So you let me know your experience down below, please. I definitely would love to hear your feedback. But trying this one, not my favorite. Then I got a couple of these, and I'd heard great things about them from a couple of y'all. So these are the Melting Pout Matte Liquid Lipsticks, and these retail for $7.99. So it says, for color so hot it's melted. New CoverGirl Melting Pout Matte Liquid Lipsticks give you a high-impact, super rich color with a lightweight matte finish. These liquid matte lipsticks are infused with nourishing ingredients and glide on easily for a smooth finish. Key benefits: intensely pigmented, gel cream feels flexible, never stiff, Yes, definitely. Not sticky or tacky? Yes, definitely. Infused with nourishing ingredients and high definition color that feels velvety soft? Yes, I would describe these as velvety. Cushiony soft applicator for gel that glides on smoothly. So this lighter shade that I have that I'm wearing right now is Ballerina, and I'll apply the other one in a second. So Ballerina is like a beautiful light neutral pink color. So these are very moussey, very velvety, and these are awesome. I love these. They do have a very sweet scent. It's very sweet, kind of plasticky fake sweet, but I don't really mind the scent. I just love the formula on these. They do build up. You kind of have to build them up a little bit because they're that kind of velvety sort of a texture, but they're just super comfortable on the lips. They really don't feel like anything. It really just feels like you have nothing on your lips. So really easy to wear. When I have worn these, when I've eaten, like I wore this one when I was eating like a wrap from Buffalo Wild Wings, and I wasn't getting it all over the wrap. I didn't have lipstick all over my face. It didn't do the there, not there line because it kind of has that more velvety sort of a texture. It just sort of wore away like a matte lipstick would, like a regular matte lipstick, which is my favorite way for a lip product to wear away. I want it to wear away evenly. I would rather it fade everywhere rather than just get the lip liner look and then you lose the middle part of your lipstick. So love these. Let me try on this color for you. So here is this color. This one is Secret, and this one is kind of like a rich, rosy oxblood sort of a color, kind of in between a rose and an oxblood. So it's not super duper dark, but it does definitely have a little bit of depth to it. It's really a pretty color. They set quickly. I love these. I feel like the Drugstore is totally changing the game as far as liquid lipsticks go and just coming out with some really great ones. Like I love the Maybelline ones. Once they set, I don't like them until they set. But once they set, those don't move. But I think I might like these even better. They're just awesome. Awesome formula. They have a fun shade range. They have some bright colors, some neutral colors, some deep colors. I like the applicator. The scent I think is fine. They're just awesome. I probably should have thought through wearing that dark shade before showing you lip oils because now my lips are a little bit dyed, but that's okay. So these are the VITALIST Elixir Lip Oils, and it says these are a blend of nourishing oils with a lightweight texture that instantly melts onto your lips. Available in 6 shades, the lip oil works hard to deeply hydrate, condition, and soften your lips while the tint enhances the beauty of your natural lip color. And these retail for $6.99. So I have 2 different shades here. Melon Granita, which is number 12, and then number 13, Cherry Crush. So these are pretty light. Let me get this one swatched. Okay, so here is Melon Granita. So this is just like a very light pink. This one really doesn't have a lot of color to it. This is really more so for the hydration. You get a little bit of a tint there, but most of the color that you're seeing is the staining from, you know, that liquid lipstick. So, I mean, you can see there is a little bit of color there, and it seems like it maybe gets a little bit darker as you wear it, but not a ton. It doesn't have a lot of color. I do really like the packaging on this. I think it's cute, the little line of the color. These are very hydrating feeling, like they feel really nice. They feel like a lip oil, so it depends on if you like the feeling of lip oils or not. If you do, I think you'll like them. If you don't, you won't, because these feel like a lip oil. They have like a sweet, as I get it on my nose, like a sweet citrusy sort of a scent to them. Let me swatch this one. So this one is 13 Cherry Crush. So this has a little bit more color to it. This is the same, it's a really tiny doe foot applicator, so you do have to kind of dip in quite a few times to kind of get the coverage that you know, probably would be looking for. This one has a little bit more color to it, but not a ton. I mean, you can see it's, you know, it doesn't look like that. So it's an oil version of that. So it is a red, and it does have color to it for sure, but not a ton. So if you kind of want that sort of popsicle lip look where you look like you just have, you know, slightly stained lips but that are really super glossy, then this would be like a fun color for that. But if you're just looking for good hydration, comfort, These are awesome. They're not long wearing. They don't stick around on the lips a very long time at all. But when they are there, they're very hydrating and really nice feeling. All right, guys, so that wraps up this probably very long look into some new CoverGirl goodies. So I hope that you really enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below if you've tried these products. What do you think about them? I would love to know your thoughts and opinions. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.